What's up, everyone, and welcome to the RRBG podcast. In this episode, it's my homie Devin of the band Ether Coven. Devin and I go way back, so there's a lot of inside stories and jokes that we tell, but we had a blast talking. We talked about where the band is at right now, Ether Coven, what Outed and Remembering Never are doing. We talked about our feelings. We talked about mental health. We talked about the pandemic. It was a really great conversation, and I loved catching up with him. Go check out Ether Coven on Instagram at Ether Coven. You can get the link there to all of it. If you want to get the album, pick up the vinyl, listen to it. Make sure to follow him at South of Devin so you can catch up on all the other bands and everything else that he's doing. Please subscribe to the show down there. Click the little button for me, please. The little thumbs up, the little bell, anything to help us get the show into the algorithm so we can fight the system. And if you have a chance, check out our Patreon page where you can find exclusive interviews from Psycho Las Vegas and a few other things there. Go to patreon.com/RRBG and help us out. Cheers. Oh, yeah. Cheers to you.
Cheers, sir.
Ding. It goes good with my coffee. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the RRBG podcast. I am being joined today by my very good friend, Devin of Ether Coven and Outed, and still Remembering Never, maybe?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, still active?
Yeah, actually, we're writing a record right now.
Ooh. So, is it weird for you to be in two bands with Pete?
No, it's actually, considering the way that Peter works, he always starts bands with those in his proximity. So poor Danny Berger has literally been in every single band that Peter's ever started. And Danny only finds out he's in these bands when Peter shows up and says, we're going to write this song, but it's for a different band that you're now in. But
high-level communication going on with the band. I'm just kidding.
To an extent, yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I love Pete, known him, like, it's going to be a weird podcast. I'm warning everybody right now. This is going to be weird.
Yeah.
Because I want to be professional. I want to, treat you guys and shine the light on you guys. But also, like, we're homies, man. I've known you for so long.
I know. I was just like, oh, man, we're going to be bullshitting the entire time.
Yeah. Lots of trips to O'Malley's.
Oh, my goodness.
Lots of getting kicked out of O'Malley's.
Yep. That is correct.
It's their fault. I blame them for giving us $5 pitchers of alcohol.
Dude, yeah, like not beer, liquor.
No, liquor. Like, hey, here's a Jack and Coke pitcher full for $5. Like,
out of control.
They would just give it to you. They would put a straw in it.
Yeah.
They're like, we know you're not going to put it in a glass.
Yeah, and the pitchers were like the clear like pizza shop pitchers.
Yeah. Oh God. I'm about to throw up just thinking about it.
My stomach hurts all of a sudden.
Man, how do you feel physically? Because I feel when I think about those days of us, partying in Florida, it feels like a completely different human being.
Yes, that I agree. I flash through some photos sometimes, and it all hits me at once, and I just, how am I still here? I don't know how I made it. I don't know how we
still alive.
I don't know how we made it through, to be honest. I have no idea.
Do you feel that right now the level of attention that Ether Coven is getting is like, on par or the highest it's ever been for you, like in terms of music in any band?
This is the highest it's been in any band. Also, that is to say, with Remembering Never, it's hard to, like, now with writing the record, I feel connected to that band more.
Right,
but I've always felt like a steward to the music. Like, everybody wants to hear the hits. They want to hear the records that they want to hear, not necessarily the sell us home. But
right.
They want to hear the older stuff, so I want to play it so they enjoy it. So I've always felt like stewarding. So that aside, this is the most attention any project I've done has really gotten. And I have to say that it's because of steadfastness.
Steadfastness? Keep working?
Yeah, we've just been doing it constantly. So it just never stops. So I think in that sense, if, the old tricks that if you're touring, you can be relevant. If you're not touring, you got to be something else to stay relevant and not be out there pounding the pavement. So considering COVID and stuff like that, plus actually our buddy Michael Alago, this little t-shirt of his, if that guy hadn't come along, I don't think we would have made some of the connections that we made. Like, it was basically a solicitor. He helped solicit us into some places, and then Peter took over. Peter did what Peter does best. He just fucking knows the grindstone. So, yeah, it has been, which is cool because
it's crazy to think the influence that a person like that can have, like Michael. I don't think he was in a band ever, but he was just a fan. He was just a fan of music, and he helped, just connect dots, basically.
Yeah, he was he started out as a promoter.
Yeah.
For a venue in New York. I forget the name offhand, but started doing that, and again, another tenacious person with eyes on the prize. They're gonna chat, and it's inherent to them, so it's not like working. It's just being Michael. Like Peter's just being Peter.
Yeah.
This is the nature of who they are.
Yeah, you're also very social, man. Since the day I met you, I was like, oh, that's a kindred spirit. Like, we're gonna party.
Yeah, right away. Yeah, that was cool with all you guys in December. And
I don't remember. I don't feel like those days are real. Like, they don't belong to me. It's so weird. I look at the pictures. I'm like, really? All right, that was fun. It was a lot of fun, but holy shit, like. It's like almost like you in a car crash and then you wake up and you're like not injured. Like, I made it.
Dude.
Oh shit. Oh. So okay, going back to what you were saying about steadfastness. You guys have been doing Ether for a very long time, and Ether Coven, but that's why I said it that way, because it's like you mentioned steadfastness. There is like you guys have been hit with, I guess, scenarios or whatever, life problems or whatever it may be, that you guys keep pivoting. Like you originally were called Ether, you had different band members. So like what was the reasoning behind adding the word Coven to Ether?
So Century Media said that they couldn't find us. So the internet.
Oh, the internet? They kept finding
obscure.
Drugs?
Actually, it kept finding Nas. So
Nas. Oh, okay.
Which ain't bad, but we weren't necessarily right under the Nas, like whatever popped up about that. But so they said we can't find you anywhere. So either change the name or do something to it. And
they could have put some money behind some what do they call that? SLO or whatever. There's
so it's more easily locatable.
Yeah, there's like a service that people provide. It's called like SLO, or it's 3 letters. I might have the wrong letters, but they're the ones that can make your name pop up on Google higher when people look you up.
Oh, no shit.
It's weird. Yeah, it costs money, so that's probably why the label's like, well, let's just change your name.
They did all right as far as the budget, being a new band, but a relatively new band. But that whole situation, we were just kind of foresaw it being this way, but too small of a fish and too big of a pond. So you definitely just get lost in the shuffle of things, and I guess some unintentional backseating to a lot of things. I don't know, the great people, but I think it hindered more than it helped. It taught us so much. Plus, we got to work with Eric Rattan. I don't give a shit. I'll do it all again to work with Rattan. I love that guy. So,
dude, the music is incredible. It's heavy and not just tonally. Emotionally heavy music. Why don't you guys write some happy shit? I'm just kidding.
Yo, there's a love song on the new record.
Oh yeah, love song.
Warmth of Your Bathwater is a love song. So there you go. There's some happy shit.
No, it's a weird thing. I love. There's certain bands that I can only listen to when I'm in a really positive state of mind, which is not very often. Living in Los Angeles, it's always either just go or sad.
Yeah. If you're sad, you better start going.
Yeah, exactly. As soon as I start getting sad, I'm like, well, gotta get up, do some stretches. Let's get to work. But yeah, it's like Yob is an example. I can't listen to Yob unless I'm in the right mindset.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
love that band so much. Clearing the Path to Ascend. What a fucking record, man.
Yep. I have you guys and Yob in the same playlist.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And there's also like a couple like the Ocean songs in there. Some Catatonia.
Oh,
Is in
Night is
that
the
list.
New Day. Night is the New
Yeah.
Day. Dead End Kings. Both amazing records.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I remember one night I was particularly fucked up, and I texted you listening to that song. I'm like, "What is happening right now? This song is making me so sad."
Yeah. Yes.
Dude, it was so yeah. So for you personally, when you're on stage performing these songs that are so emotionally invested and like there's such a heavy subject matter for a lot of it, how do you feel? Does it feel cathartic to just get it out, or do you feel kind of like it's a mental battle to kind of just fight the sadness?
You know what it is? I get lost in the sauce pretty easily. The thing with me is just the tonality, all the tone on the stage, like the literal, tangible aspect of music is what I feel more live. Whereas writing, the things come from that place. They source from those kind of emotions. But then after that, it's kind of like I attach the shit to that, and there it goes. It's off into the ether, I suppose.
Hey,
Get the fuck
Woo,
out of here!
you
Oh
did
my
it.
god, this is so stupid. Fucking delete that. Okay, so
timestamp. Yeah.
So yeah, it's performing it live. It's just like, man, because all right, so we're absolutely fans of music, period, first and foremost. And that's kind of the driver behind everything. So being able to stand that close to an amp in a show setting at that volume is the best feeling in the world.
Yep.
Like a show setting, the high energy of the room, and then you just hear this disgusting guitar tone, and you just want to, I don't know, you want to like unzip your body and let it, I mean, just something crazy. Like, I need to meld with this sound. Like, we were playing Mutants of the Monster Fest in Little Rock, and there was a backline of Emperor Cabs, and it was 412, 215, I believe. It was like a coffin cab.
Oh,
but
shit. Okay.
This thing sounded so badass that I literally, in the middle of the set, I had my forehead pushed against the cab to let it resonate off my skull. And I'm just like digging my head into the cab. I'm like, fuck, this sounds so good. So live to me, I'm just so immersed in like the actual audio of it that the feeling it creates. Yeah, I know Peter has mentioned that he definitely re-feels things when he's playing those songs. So it's just like constantly going back to that place. But for me, once it's gone, it's gone. And then it's just the tangible aspect of it.
For sure. And I mean, particularly with the type of music you guys are doing, like the tone on the albums is so deep. It's like a layered thing. It sounds powerful, which, I haven't seen you guys live since, I mean, I don't know, what's it, 8 years now?
Yeah, wow.
I mean, I've been out of Florida for at least 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I don't know. So it's been a while. But, yeah, that feeling. I was just talking about this with Dave Davidson of Revocation.
God, that band's so good.
Dude, they never miss. It's so weird.
I saw him at St. Pete with Cannibal.
Oh, yeah. So good.
Holy crap. Okay, sorry, go on.
No, yeah, but anyway, we were saying that about, like, you can't replicate that feeling. Like, if with VR, for example, like there's no way they're going to, even if they were to put on like a haptic suit, that vibrates when certain things happen on screen, you're still looking at a screen. It's not the same thing.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
And there's no drug that replicates that either. I think that's why musicians end up doing a lot of drugs, is because they're trying to find that drug that they're getting on stage, and none of them really actually match up to it,
Yeah, it's similar things, but definitely vastly different. You know what's funny when you mentioned like being able to recreate something like that? I always people talk about visual art or any kind of visual art medium. The thing is it can be very cathartic, maybe at a greater level, and then you're still creating, right? So you create this piece of art, you can revisit it anytime and just sit with it for indefinitely. But the thing with music is, truthfully, it's only a memory unless it's happening. So you can only revisit what your memory of a sound is. To experience it, you have to be doing it. It's an active sort of thing. So it kind of sucks in that sense. And I think that's what like creates such an obsession for people listening to music, is that again, like you said, it's constantly looking for that drug, chasing that dragon, because you're for instance, I was doing a job picking up bodies, and remember when I was doing that? Remember that shit. So
anyway, for people that are they're not aware, explain.
I picked up some Jonathan Davis shit right here. I picked up bodies for a long time. So
yeah,
I went,
dead bodies to be specific. Yeah,
although,
and he didn't. Not his kills, just they were already dead. Just to clarify, because you don't want to get canceled on the internet.
Right.
This gets clipped, and
second to that, there was a time I showed up to what was called an imminent death, where the person was going to die and they knew they were going to die. So I had to go wait for them to die. I don't know why we're laughing, but that is fucked up.
That's so brutal, dude.
It's like, hey, this guy's almost out of here. You mind hanging out for a little bit? Or
yeah, the guy's in there taking his last breaths and you're outside on your cell phone like, fuck.
God damn it, dude.
Hurry up.
I could be at home. I can't believe I paused my show for this.
I was watching 6 Feet Under. Anyway,
I was watching Adventure Time. This is bullshit. But so one of the nights I was working overnight shift. It was 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And I didn't get any calls that night. So I'm at my house in a recliner in the living room with headphones on, listening to Sapphire from Fallujah.
Ooh.
It's The Flesh Prevails, that record. There's a song called Sapphire. One of the most incredible songs I've ever heard. I literally listened to that song on repeat the entire fucking time. I couldn't get enough of it. There's a whole break in the end and the whole last section of the song. My God, man. The rhythm, the melodies, everything involved. It's just super impressive and very deep sounding. There's so much depth to those songs, to the writing, let alone the production that's, helping it along. But damn, dude, I still listen. I've just popped that song back on this past week. I'm like, fuck, this song's so good.
That's such a weird feeling, man. That I get it too. It happens to me a lot. I'll get stuck on an album or a few songs for months. I can't break away. And then I don't know. It's how do you fight that? You listen to something else.
It doesn't work. It's just not enough.
Why? Why would I? It's so good.
Right. The moment I put another thing on and I'll listen to it and I'll immediately hear the song that I've been obsessing over in my head. And I'm just like, fuck, man, I'm going to put it back on. Fuck it. I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to try to fight it. Lean into it.
So now here's a question for you. Do you find yourself having a hard time when you're listening to stuff like that because you're such a fan of it? When you're trying to write and trying not to copy or take something from someone.
Right. So the thing with me is, I feel this is going to sound so stupid, but it's, I used to think about when people would imagine growing up and you're playing music, you're like, man, it would be so cool to be in that band.
Yeah.
Thinking about that though, assumes the removal of one of those people that make that band what it is. So I've never wanted to be a part of something because of its original state. I enjoy it for what it is. It has to be that. And if I inject myself into it, I'm no longer influenced by it. It becomes an echo chamber. I'm turning this thing, I'm imprinting myself onto something that I enjoy. It's colonizing ideas. And I would rather view from afar and continue to get the influence from it that I get from it. So I lucked out because I assumed in thinking that way that when I go to start writing, music doesn't necessarily trigger me wanting to write. I don't hear something and go, man, I want to do that, and then go do it. It's usually something I'm completely empty head, and then I'll just hear things. So I always consider myself a conduit for music ideas and things like that. It's so hard to take ownership of something like this. It's such a strange thing, the way that I feel about it, the way that I connect with it. It's like a belch or a fart or something. It just comes out of me, and then there it is. It's now in the world. So now what to do? Perfect how to play it so it sounds good every time. What are the nuances that are making it feel that way? Highlight those. How does that affect your playing? So I look at it, I guess, in a kind of pragmatic sort of way. It's helping my playing, not necessarily influencing my writing. I taught myself guitar by learning Machine Head songs. Every album front to back, and just literally playing those over and over and over again. And I loved it so much. But I would go to write something and it would sound nothing like that. So I was like, okay, good. Or I would try to write something that sounded like it, and I wouldn't understand like where it was coming from. I don't have the same influences, so it's going to sound and feel totally different.
Yeah.
I may have an interpretation of something, but I want to replicate and interpret more of the emotive side of what I'm getting from it. Because when I obsess over these types of any music, it's because of the way it's truthfully it's sound. I don't hear I listen to lyrics, that's fine. Lyrics sometimes, if they affect me, the song doesn't last very long in my mind. The music is very emotive and extremely deep as far as melody and what melody choices are there. That is the shit that I latch onto and obsess with. I don't know if I'm like talking just randomly rambling right
No,
now.
it makes sense. It makes sense to me. It makes sense because I'm similar, dude. I'm the same way. Like I feel that the Sever shit that we did, it was always just us. Like I would sit in the room with them and then just shit would start happening. Yeah, it wasn't ever like, and I also feel that it's because we're tuned into that frequency, like what you said, that it's like you're a conduit. And I honestly feel that you can shift, away from that. Like I feel that way now. Like I don't really receive music like I used to. Now my focus is all this shit that I'm doing for the podcast. You know what I mean? But I feel that if I put my mind to it, I could, change the radio station back. You know what I mean? I kind of just changed radio stations, and I can go back to that station and let the music come through.
Right. That kind of goes along with the concept that a lot of artists, I think, including myself, miss out on, is that we can practice what we're doing to play. We can practice performance. We can practice anything like that. But how do you practice creativity? How do you practice writing? Like knowing, because everybody's like, oh my God, of course, I have the coolest idea. It's 2:00 in the fucking morning and I have to be silent. Like I can't make any noise. And you're just being inundated with the best ideas. And it's like, fuck. So I think in the same concept, listen to just kind of other artists talk about how they kind of attach to their art. How does it become cathartic? Like, I don't know if this sounds like little levels of sociopathy, because I'm like, how do I emote?
How do I be human?
But it's just kind of like how people that create a lot of material in short order, like what are they doing to do that? And you always hear that they practice writing. The thing is, just something I've noticed with any kind of project, be it like a classic car, or like restoring a classic car all the way to writing music, is if you're not out there doing it, you're not doing it. So you can think about it, but that's not the same as doing. Much like you can think about a sentence or think about an opinion, but then when you voice it, you actually find out if you're stupid or not. Like you have to actualize these things to kind of have a better understanding of what you're trying to get across. So you practice writing, no matter what's coming out, whether you're writing a fucking McDonald's jingle or like the craziest, heaviest song you've ever come up with. You have to practice that. You just got to pick up, make noise, find your place, attune yourself, like you were talking about, like tuning a radio station. You need to focus that dial correctly, and then you'll be able to, pump material out better, I suppose. I don't know, but I need to do the same. But I found that when I do apply that sort of thing, like if I'm just constantly having a little acoustic guitar and I pace back and forth and kind of tinker and come up with melodies and stuff like that, none of it sticks. But every time I pick up the guitar, I'm finding that something is coming through. So practicing writing, practicing being creative is another thing that I feel could be very helpful for a lot of people. Very
important. Very, very important. I tell my wife this too. She does art, and she complains that she didn't take classes and stuff. And I'm like, just keep drawing. Yeah. Whatever it is, just keep drawing. Just keep drawing. Draw whatever it is. Draw things that you see on the wall. Draw like whatever, because you're just helping your muscle memory, I guess, your mind to kind of like allow that information that you're receiving to come out. It applies to everything, MMA or whatever, comedy. You want to do comedy, you got to write comedy all day. Write the dumbest shit. It doesn't matter. Say
it to everybody.
Yeah,
because if nobody's laughing, you'll know.
Yeah, if you really want to see crazy people, that go see like early, bands that are in the early stages, and they're like, hey, "Dude, you want to come to my car and check out the new song we wrote?"
I do that to so many people. I'm such a punisher, dude. I don't care. Oh, Rue's rad, man.
Yeah, dude, that's Rue. He would always drag people to the, hey, Coach, you got to check this out. I'm like, dude, I felt embarrassed only because I don't like my own voice ever.
Yeah.
Like when I hear, dude, you don't understand. And you know, I do the podcast and I did the bands and I hate my voice and it's voice.
That's I was just going to say, you were the singer and you're a talking guy.
I hate it, dude. I hate it. Every time I try and edit as fast as I can so I don't have to hear my shit. You know what I mean? So whenever Rue would be like, come in and check out this new song we did, I'm like, oh no, they're going to hear my voice and I hate my voice.
Don't just yell like every time you go to sing.
Okay, so also talking about this, like showing people music, there's something that I always like. Do you get super stoked on showing somebody something and then you show it to them and they're like kind of just
indifferent?
They're like, oh yeah.
Wait, of like my own stuff or anything?
No, anything. Like,
I was gonna say because it's all the same. Like if I'm showing somebody my own shit or something I'm obsessing over, I feel the same. What do you mean you don't like it?
Like, you really not digging this? Am I crazy?
For my own personal stuff, I don't care if somebody likes it or not. They're like, yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, cool. What can I do to make it wowier? Or like, what can I do to make it more like bleh? But with other shit that I'm obsessing over, I look at them like they're crazy. Like, you don't have ears. I don't know how you don't like this. You're fucking dumb. I don't know how you don't like it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. I mean, it usually happens with like Dillinger for me when I try to show somebody Dillinger Escape Plan. Because I forget that to a novice ear, it sounds like, just a dump truck outside.
Yeah,
like,
dude. And like 30 kids hitting a dump truck like a piñata.
Yeah. And some dude's on fire, running by on fire, screaming. Ah!
Yeah.
Like that.
When I saw them with Dimitri at Culture Room in Fort Lauderdale, and during 43% burnt, they had a dude with a Zephyr Hills bottle full of kerosene. You could smell it. The whole venue smelled like it. And he was blowing fire all through the end of 43% burnt. And I mean, like, the flames were going towards the fucking back wall. Because it's like, for anybody that doesn't know, it's kind of a shallow venue, but long. So the back wall is kind of closed. And man, that was one of the most intense things I've ever seen. Dimitri, because there was like an edge at the stage. So at that point, that if you stood on the edge, your feet are at the head level, the eye level of anybody in the audience. So he stood up on the edge of that stage, dead still, singing or screaming, just fucking losing his mind. But
while there's fire,
very still. The whole band's all over the fucking stage, and there's fire going everywhere from somebody's mouth, and you just smell kerosene. And I'm
That's
like,
amazing.
It's like, man, I should tell my mom about this later. How was the show, honey? Oh, it was good, Mom.
There was fire.
Yeah, I almost died.
Pyrotechnics? Yeah, no, not pyrotechnics.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. I don't feel like we're ever gonna get that again.
No,
that vibe. That people won't let that happen anymore.
You gotta. It's there. It's just moved a little further underground. You get a lot of that stuff, especially in DIY venues, which I think are wonderful. They're a haven for like true unfettered expression. We played a satanic vegan barbecue on 4th of July in Detroit. Yeah, dude, man. Sometimes I think I'm just like, it ain't been much. But fuck, it's been fun.
Yeah. Hey, look, that's like a little on the nose because they have that Satan meat that they eat.
Satan. I have a
Hail Satan.
There's a restaurant in St. Pete called Golden Dinosaurs Vegan Deli. Check them out. St. Petersburg. Okay. But they had a patch, and it's awesome because it looks like a cultish as fuck, and it says Hail Satan.
Nice. Actually, I think that might be. I've seen that. I feel like I know who made that design. This Hail Satan sticker.
It's so good.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm sure it's very common, but with their patch in particular, it's very occultish looking. So standing in line with a backpack on, there's always somebody like, "Hey, wait." It's spelled SEITA. So,
yeah, man. It's interesting that, you know, there is that whole like you said, satanic vegan. Like there is a whole thing that's a whole like community that
really?
people get together and do that. Like it's interesting. I feel that we're in a time where people are allowed to have their own little groups or segments and whatever, but I mean, that's how we get out of hand sometimes. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's how we get the Proud Boys. Oh, they got their own little segment. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
What's the difference between them or us and them doing their satanic ritual? So the show, that Satanic Vegan Barbecue on 4th of July, the show starts. Yeah. The opening set was a ritual, like a satanic ritual.
A bloodletting? Was it a bloodletting?
No, they poured candle wax and like a simulated, I don't know. It was cool.
Okay. All right.
It was cool. It was fun to watch.
Okay.
And then,
all right.
Then we played one of the local acts. They were a metal band. They played. Then we played. And then after us was a psychedelic surf rock alien underwater sea guar band.
That sounds amazing,
dude,
actually.
They had huge... So everything was like... It was fucking awesome. So it was all surf rock, and it was rad. It was instrumental. They had huge, like, animal heads on with, like, spiraling eyes, and everything was lit up, and the place was dark. So everything was lasers, and one person was, like, a giant octopus.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, dude, it was badass. It was so cool. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then right after that was Body Void. What? Oh, my God, dude. That was absolutely.
That sounds like a trip.
that show was wild. And then so they had like some vegan food set up, and they're passing out little American flags out front, like the little wavers. And
nice.
So we walk out, and everybody's got these little flags in their hand, and this guy's like, "All right, is everybody ready?" Yeah. All right, let's go. And they all light them on fire and throw them on the ground. I just like didn't see that coming, but I should have saw it coming. But
yeah, the satanic part would have insinuated fire, but not to the American flag.
There was all of them lit it up at the same time. It's like I thought they were going to do something else. I had no idea they were going to light them all on fire.
They were going to sing the national anthem. You think that was going to happen?
Yeah. Not a chance.
Oh man. Yeah, dude. I went to I got invited to this thing. It was an art gallery in LA. Mm-hmm. And it was Josh Barnett and Behemoth were doing a thing. Behemoth were showing some artwork from their last album, like the paintings that they have on the album, whatever, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
And I get in there, and it's like super interesting, like building old architecture, kind of like fancy looking shit. And it kind of looked like a church, to be honest with you. And and you know, with the paintings everywhere. And then I start seeing girls coming out in like outfits, like crazy costumes, like they're nuns, but they have horns and there's blood. I don't know. So all that started happening, and then after like a few minutes, I'm drinking some beer, talking to Josh, and out walks this group of people, and they do a bloodletting where they just start cutting this woman open and blood is coming out of her body. Like, and
what is the time frame of this?
This was right before the pandemic.
Okay, I was going to say.
Pre-pandemic. And, dude, I mean, even, you know, Nurgle and Josh and I were like, this is a bit much. Like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Some satanic Gallagher show going on.
Yeah, because I don't think he knew. Like, you know, they're like a group that goes and do these shows, performances, you know, and it's like a witches group. They're all witches, but they also do bloodlettings for satanic rituals, and they just show up. It's kind of like you just hire them, like. Hire them on Fiverr, probably. I don't know.
Hey, yeah, can you come cut yourself at this gig? Grandma's turning 89 today. So I want to let her know that we love her.
How many candles do I need to get?
Yeah. We're going to thank the Dark Lord for her still being here. Can you come cut yourself?
Yeah, it's so crazy, dude. I mean, but hey, I'm not hating. Do your thing. Do your thing, because that's, to me, it's like just... do what you got to do to like make yourself feel fulfilled. You know, obviously, as long as it's not like you're killing children or whatever, sacrificing actual babies.
Right.
But like, if you're only just cutting yourself for performance art, then whatever. Then go for it. So okay, let's do podcasty stuff.
Okay, sorry.
For you. If you had the choice to tour with any band that you'd like, what band do you? What's the tour package?
Ultimate or current, or both?
Both.
Okay, so Ultimate would be Yob, Neurosis, but not in that order. Neurosis, Yob, and probably Crowbar.
Ooh, man,
that would be.
I mean, I'll pay money for that tour,
dude. That would be insane.
Yeah.
Current, I really am digging this band out of the UK called Conjurer. And they're...
I've heard of them, but I haven't heard of them.
Dude, fucking listen. They're so heavy. They're gnarly tight, so good. I watch a lot of their live stuff. Normally I don't watch live stuff with bands because I get so into like what the record sounds like all the little nuanced noises and shit that have happened in recording. That's kind of like what I go after. I like the real detailed stuff. So when I hear a live recording, I'm lacking those things, so I tend to not listen to live recordings. But I'm like, I want to hear. Usually, if I find a new band, I want to know what they're capable of live. Like, okay, what part? There's a lot of layers in a song. What are they bringing forward live? How are they, translating this? How are they playing it as a part of the riff? Are they using backing tracks? Whatever the fuck. So, I'll always check out the live stuff at least once. This fucking band, dude, I've been finding myself watching mostly the live shit because they are just so on point, so intense, so like they're genuine. They're very fucking honest, and it's very visible that they are. Like, there's nothing, there's no extra shit. They're stripped down. They're just dudes, instruments. That's it. And you're getting fucking pummeled. They're so good. And the riffs, they're Riff City, kid. Riff City, kid.
Riff City. All right, I'll check them out.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I have their album in my email because the name, like I remember seeing it in an email.
It's probably this album Pathos they just put out.
Yeah, because dude, I get like 150 emails a day now.
Dude,
it's
you're
insane.
Big fucking shit, Eddie.
No, I'm not. I'm fat. Yeah.
No,
I'm
come
fat.
on.
I'm big.
No, come on. I'm not in shape. I'm A shape.
I'm A shape. It depends on how I put my arms. If I go like this, I start getting bigger. No, but yeah, dude, it's weird. I don't know what's going on. No, I don't know what's happening. I like you. Like I just focused on this and stopped writing music, and then it's work ethic, I guess. I don't know.
It is because you just do the damn thing.
Yeah, it's what happens when you grow up poor in Florida.
Dude. I swear to God, I know I'm old now because I just keep like, whoa, we used to not have a whole lot. Mom would cook for the whole lot of us off about $2 a day. So it's always something like reminiscent about some shit. But
yeah, dude.
Yeah, it does take you to a place where you just have to fucking do it. You can't readily access anything. So you have to work towards it, or not work for it, isn't like put in work and then expect return. Like you literally have to build it. You have to buy it broken and repair it. You have to do what you fucking can to get by. So if you're not doing something, you're not getting anything. There is no extra anything. There's no side thing generating constantly. There's just your fucking hands. I've been blue collar for a long time. I only really recently got into CAD drafting. But before, if it rained, I'm not eating that day. So
Jesus.
it is fucking tough. But not to bring it down. We've been having so much fun.
No, but it's true. I mean, and it's also, people always think that that's a negative thing. I like talking about it because it goes to show, like, look where you are now. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And I'm still not like wealthy.
Right.
But I can afford colorful lights that I found outside on the sidewalk. I didn't buy it. No, but
look how fucking crafty you are.
Yeah. So no, it's just there were times in Florida, man, when we were just eating shit. Like there was nothing. And I start to think about that. Like during those times, I had nothing. I barely had a place to live, dude. I was crashing with the band. Yeah. At one point, I was living in Rue's trailer. You know what I mean? Fucking biking around Homestead, like not a dime to my name. And like, I think about those times, and I wasn't really suffering from any kind of panic attack at that time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you noticed now recently, or, you know, during this time, that maybe, or maybe as you've gotten older, your mental health is kind of like not as strong as when we were like dumbass kids just fucking around in Florida?
You know what it is? I think with that, it's more or less all the fucking around we were doing was it was an escape. Shit was fucked up. We didn't know why. We didn't know how to process it. So then we go outside and play, and that's where we would be in the moment, being kids, you know? As you get older, you realize that, I mean, everybody can agree with this, I assume, is that part of the hard part of becoming an adult or growing up is realizing that you have to focus. Like,
it's on you to keep this planet going.
Right. Like we're being pushed by a wall of time, and we're just moving in one direction. You can't stop. Where if you had someone to care for you, you could stop. You didn't have to focus. And I think getting to the point of having to focus is the daunting part. Like, my mind is telling me I want to hear a song right now, but instead I got to talk to your fucking not you, but say like you're at work. You know, you're at work and you're like, why am I doing this podcast? I want to be listening to the new fucking. No, I did not mean you. It's like you're at work and it's like, dude.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
I don't fucking care that you can't get a permit through the city because you didn't pay your fucking bills. Like, fuck all the way off. I've got a song I want to hit play on, and I'm on the phone with you instead. You know. So,
yeah, dude.
You have to focus, and that sucks, to be honest. I know a lot of people can get behind the fact that they just rather be that video of a hippie on acid flailing around.
Doesn't work.
Fucking weeds.
Look, man, I tried it. It doesn't work. And that lifestyle does not work. I mean, it depends on what you want to do. I mean, if you want to end up, you know, being a dirty fucking homeless person in Skid Row, then fine. That's your choice. That's your life. Good for you. Enjoy it. I don't even get mad at people like that, because I'm like, whatever. That's your choice. I choose to not do that anymore because I tried it.
Right.
You know,
just the anxiety it creates. Like, when you look in your hands and there's absolutely nothing, you don't got to pop a piss in. You're just like, what do I do? What am I going to do?
But it does bring out the best in us, I think. I mean, in some of us, let me rephrase that. Some of us, like for me, it made me work harder. It made me go, like, you know, fine, I have to go take a little shower at the fucking CVS bathroom and go try and get a job. Like, I need to make money somehow. I got to help somebody do something, you know, like it pushes you to do something, hopefully, or you go to Skid Row.
Right. And, you know, I have such a rush of so many different ideas to like explain with it. I always call her Princess in the Pea. I can feel every little like grit of sand in my shoe and a sock. Like anything that's not of me, I can feel it immensely. So thinking about being comfortable, not that, you know, there's a lot of reasons people can find themselves in homelessness or houselessness rather, but the thing with me personally, a driving factor would just be the physical anxiety it creates, like that actual like touch, like not being able to clean myself on a daily basis. I'd lose my mind. And I assume that some people literally do lose their minds in the sense that you can't get that buried. You can't, there's so many mental limitations that are just ignored. And
that explains the ones that are like going around screaming and like waving at the air like they're that's just, it's been 6 months since they had a shower.
Aside from that, just
their brain snapped.
Yeah, with what like sleep deprivation can do as well.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's they're out on the skirts, and it sucks because in one instance the overwhelming idea of thinking that you can do anything about it without actually approaching the system. Like, the issue is systemic, and it's heartbreaking to know that like I don't have anything personally from human to human to be able to help you out of this situation. I can barely put a Band-Aid on what you're experiencing right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's fucking god awful, but there's too many systemic issues. That's an overwhelming thought in and of itself.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I don't know. As I got older, I felt like things were getting better, and then all of a sudden it was like a, you know, and I'm not talking in my personal life. In my personal life, you know, it's all perspective.
Right.
But I'm talking about what's happening around me, because I can make my life as good as I want it to be, as long as I focus on it, you know. But it's also selfish to just ignore what's happening around me. You know what I mean? But how do we? It feels like a hopeless battle versus a machine that what am I going to do?
Right.
You know, I can help on a smaller level. You know, help people. Like if I see somebody that needs a hand, or you know somebody's hungry, I usually donate to the homeless if I see that they're genuinely having a hard time.
Right.
If he's holding the crack pipe, I'm not going to give him $1.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry, dude. Buy your own drugs.
Yeah.
I got to buy my own drugs.
See, I battle. You know, I battle with the cigarette thing.
Oh yeah.
Just because of the fact of how expensive cigarettes are, and I smoked cigarettes. I smoked cigarettes for 20 years, 20 fucking years. So I know.
Have you gotten yourself checked out to see how your lungs are doing?
No.
Oh, okay.
Because that involves healthcare.
Yay! Wait, you don't have universal healthcare?
No.
Oh, damn.
But I did just get healthcare with this new yabby yob I got. So.
Oh, okay, dude. It makes a hell of a difference. Even though I don't use it as often as I should, but having that, like you don't even think about that. When we were younger, like we don't even think about that situation. Like, if I get hurt, I'll just go to the hospital and we'll figure it out.
There was a show in who was I playing with at that time? It was a Maya Men show, and it was in Lauderhill.
Is that what
Sunrise.
your neck thing?
My knee.
Oh shit! Okay.
So
I remember the neck thing, but
oh wait, the scar?
No, yeah, I remember when it happened. You had it like it was like popping out and shit.
Oh yeah, I got hit by a car while I was walking.
Yeah, dude, that's insane.
Yeah. Oh, that's another story. But
when
I blew my knee, this is all going to the not having healthcare conversation because I lifted a person off of the ground that was very large, and I am very weak, and I had very sticky, weak legs. So my knee completely collapsed, and we both hit the ground. I went to stand up, and my knee was so badly dislocated. I don't know what I tore, but it would just pop out.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was really horrible. I basically just put my foot up. I went to the ER. They gave me a full leg immobilizer and a pat on the back, and they charged me like $1,500 or more for the immobilizer. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Why did I even go there? I just went there so they could be like, oh, you walked in the door. You got to give me some money.
Yeah, dude. I try to tell my wife this because she's always like, hey, you should go to the doctor for that. Like, you know, if I have an ache, I'm like, oh man, my back hurts. She's like, you should go to see the doctor. I'm like, no. Like, no. I've already been there. I've been burned by the system.
Yeah.
Where I go in there with a swollen knee and they're like, yep, well, put some ice on it.
Yeah. I mean, I have gone for other serious reasons and were helped quite well.
Yeah.
But I go to a public hospital. Like, I hate the vilification of things that are public, including like water. Like people are like, no, I'll just drink bottled water. It's like, okay, I understand there are some cities with some fucking serious issues. But say like down here in Fort Lauderdale, do you know how much money goes into the fucking water treatment systems and shit? Like that's funded. That shit has to work. Although the pipes can be old and shitty, which is understandable, and that's where you get like lead leaching. But I threw a little fucking water filter on the thing, and boom, you got water. Which is a goddamn blessing that we fucking have. But
yeah, some people can't do that.
Right.
It's insane.
But I went into public hospitals, and there were people there that were fucking sitting there for hours and hours and hours. I felt so goddamn bad. And then I go in, and it was probably there not very long, but they're like, all right, there's an infection. Here's some antibiotics. You know, minimal, but they at least tended to what it was. But I noticed with the knee, like you were saying, you know, you don't want to go in with something swollen, and they're like, here, we haven't done shit for you. Here's a $500 ibuprofen. Fuck off. Like,
yeah. And they were like, there's an option of surgery, but I mean, it's $20,000.
Yeah.
Like, I'll guess I'll walk it off.
Dude, honestly, you know what's funny is that a lot of like the aches and pains people will feel are simply like
minor injuries.
not so much that minor injuries that are long lasting, of course, but things can develop from just having old shoes. Like your fucking shoes wear out, your back starts to hurt, then it starts traveling everywhere else. You're trying to source the issue at the back when it's actually from the feet. And I don't know. I've dealt growing up poor. These are the things you find out because you're going, fuck, I need to fucking read up on what's going on before I commit to a debt. You know what I mean? So you wait until it's serious to go to the ER. You're treating yourself to the ER all the fucking time.
So how are you now in terms, like, do you feel now at your age that you're doing better than you have been financially? Or is it
what?
Well, I was going to say, or is it just that because of the success the band is seeing, you feel better anyway, whether financially it's not, rising with it or whatever?
COVID was the, what is it? I forget. It was the great revealer.
A pandemic? It was a virus.
Yes. Well, no, it was, it was like, it literally took the cover off of everything.
Yeah.
Like, the whole world shut down.
Which was fucking nuts, dude.
Right. So, with that whole thing, it's kind of like it puts a pause on feeling like I'm in a band. So I'm finding out that a lot of like my uncomfortability in life right now is due to the fact that we didn't do anything for 2 years. And then we weren't even, all of us, the whole fucking lot of us, the whole world didn't do shit. Well, the US at least didn't do shit for 2 fucking years. And then it's like, you find yourself in regular everyday life when that was like the antithesis of where we were pre-pandemic. Like, crazy, just crazy life altering change in 2 years. And the whole world felt it at one time. So how can you feel lonely about something like that? So you just kind of discredit it. You don't, or at least you don't consider it. Myself. I don't take into consideration that I wasn't able to express myself in the very way that I've been striving for 25 fucking years. I wasn't able to do that when I'm not taking that into consideration. I'm not taking into consideration that the ability to emote like that, the ability to express yourself like constantly to the point of where you gain traction as an artist, you're expected to do this. Like if you have the free fucking reign to just be whatever fucking weirdo you want to be, and everyone's like, yeah, dude, shit, yeah, do that more.
I see that in comedy a lot. There's like a lot of people I know, like Bobby Lee, all he does is like, he tells dick and fart jokes and shows his ass and dick and balls to everyone. And it's like, I want to do that. What the fuck?
Yeah.
But yeah,
people get real pumped on being able to proxy those experiences.
Yeah.
And then coupling that with like just how deep of a respect you have for that artist, for what they're creating, and then like there's connections built that, man. So you shut down the source of a lot of this ability to just feel like a fucking weirdo human and express yourself goes away. It goes away for more than just you. It goes away for everybody that was standing there listening that don't have the capability of doing that.
Yeah.
They have it in other ways maybe, but they enjoy your art and you can't do it. And you enjoy your art and you can't do it. And it's just eating you a fuck a lot. You don't even realize it. I didn't even pay attention to it. And then I'm like, why do I feel so awkward? Why do I feel so fucking out of it? Like,
were you ever angry? Like very angry?
I got angry because I was working for a company that it was like acrylic. They manufactured acrylic shit, and they did the whole shutdown, so everybody went home, and then COVID benefits came in. So it's like, all right, we're gonna be able to make it through this. They brought me back and hired me for 1 week, and laid me off again, and that severed my COVID benefits for the rest of the pandemic.
Wow.
So there were people.
You think that was intentional?
No, I don't. I think they honestly didn't know what was going on. But this is also the same place I worked where I sawed off my fucking thumb a week before we left for a 32-day tour.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, there's videos where you can see my thumb wrapped up. I had a banjo pick taped my fucking index finger, and that's how I played. 32 days in a fucking row.
Yeah. See, that's when that's the love. That's the passion for music, dude.
Grit.
Gotta just fucking tape my finger up and let's go.
Peter and I always have two things we say to each other very often. Is the only way out is through, and we do what we do because we have to.
Isn't that first on the 9 Inch Nails song?
The only way out is through?
Yeah. It's on the Fragile.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I'm a nerd. Don't worry about it. Dude, let me ask you.
Yes.
Florida.
Oh, God.
Exactly. So
that part.
When are you getting out of Florida? Do you? Yeah, go on.
So Peter is in Atlanta now.
Ah, okay. I didn't know that. That's cool.
Justin, our drummer, will be in Chicago by October.
Okay.
And then it's just Shane and I that are down here. And with Peter being in Atlanta, and I have a couple of friends in Chicago, which now will be including Justin, but my friend Luke, my best friend.
Luke, yeah.
Luke Hannah. Sweet BBs.
Yeah.
They're up in Chicago, and him and his wife have a vegan bakery called Box Ship Bakery. And yeah, Box Ship Bakery. Check that shit out. They ship nationwide, and they're half-pound or quarter-pound vegan cookies, all different flavors, and they're bugging delicious. Bomb. So they're up in Chicago. They introduced me to a chef named Max, who's awesome. He does vegan food as well. The Herbivore. He does fucking Big Macs, like vegan Big Macs, but called Big Macs, M-A-X.
Oh, okay.
And he does some other stuff, but oh my God, it looks so delicious. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons to get out of here. Food,
so
mainly, all food driven.
So what's holding you back?
So I got this illustrious apartment here in Victoria Park. So I'll be here until at least May, and then I don't know. I'm just kind of vibing.
Do you feel that? I mean, how is the Florida scene? Because when we were there, it was bad, and we still had fun. We still, would pack out like a Churchill's or something.
Yeah.
But it still wasn't like enough to take us anywhere. You know what I mean? What we were doing there, and I felt like we had pretty much capped in Florida. Like we can pack out Churchill's. That's as good as it's gonna get. I think.
Without traveling, yeah.
Yeah. So. How is it now? Is it worse, or I feel like if you're in a band, you got to get out of Florida if you want to do anything.
Yes. People tend to forget that bands don't want to travel 8 hours one way to play a show. To travel 8 hours one way to play another one, or 10 hours minimum. So like it doesn't make sense to come to Florida, South Florida, specifically because there's also not a fucking rock market here. We have one classic rock station that plays classic rock through the 90s and then some today stuff. So you'll get like Leonard Skinner and 21 Pilots. There's the fucking run. There's your rock station. Enjoy it. And Nirvana right in the fucking middle. Maybe Tool every once in a while if you're lucky.
Mandatory Metallica Mondays.
Dude, swear to God. So it's been the same fucking songs for the past 30 years.
Yeah.
And there's no rock stations. It's not here. There's essentially no mainstream market for rock. So big bands, if they're not playing the arena in Palm Beach, they're not coming down there.
Yeah.
Or unless they have an Orlando show or Tampa show or Jacksonville. Well, I wouldn't say Jacksonville, really. Orlando and Tampa.
Yeah.
Then
St. Pete, maybe.
Yeah, but then sometimes that's as far as they go because they won't come down to the south.
There aren't a whole lot of shows in Naples.
Right. So with that, I mean, I've truth be told, I'm disassociated. I don't want to say that because I definitely would go to shows. I just don't have a lot of drive. It's called depression, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have a lot of drive.
Yeah.
So, but as far as the scene, I went and saw a show here the other day, and there were people in the venue, and it was cool. It was done at a brewery. That's another thing. We're losing venues. So we had Las Rosas in Miami. They're shut down. They're gone. Churchill's is gone.
Gone, or is it just shut down temporarily? Gone?
Yeah, I suppose gone. I haven't heard shit about anything happening at Churchill. But then again, my ears into the ground at all times, so I can't.
Yeah.
Speak,
No,
I
I feel like Churchill's is under construction or renovation or some bullshit. Hopefully, because that place is a fucking landmark. That should
dude,
never shut down.
for sure, for fucking sure. But yeah, we're at a loss for venues. People are getting creative. These breweries that we've had, like we did instead of a release show, we couldn't do a release show because of some medical reasons, but we did a listening party at the brewery that I'm enjoying a beer from now, Basic Species.
Shout out to the homies, ex co-workers of mine.
So good. It's great hazy beers. Look at that. We got a little beer in there. I went and picked some up for this exact chat. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did a listening party there, and Phil was very gracious and allowed us on the patio, and we just kind of played the record through a PA system while people hung out and chatted. And I had some vegan food brought in from a place called Ether Foods. If you can't tell, we love vegan food. I don't give a fuck. Call us hippies or not. Eat shit. Go vegan. So, but they brought some empanadas.
Ooh, empanadas.
Some buffalo cauliflower.
Call it Coffalo?
Yeah. Buffalo cauliflower. Yeah, so they brought some food out, and we just kind of bumped the record, and then the two videos, we just showed the videos through a projector. It was fun. Nice. It was cool.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, but again, get creative. You got to figure out, you can't just sit back and wait for things to fucking pass because they'll be waiting there forever.
Yep.
But, yeah, I mean, lack of venues, but people are getting creative, and it's cool to see.
People were starting to get creative during the pandemic. It really impressed me to see what some people were doing to stay relevant, I guess.
Right.
Restaurants specifically, that industry took a massive, hey, we're going to die. Let's fucking figure this out. And the whole contactless, delivery and curbside pickup and all that bullshit.
Yeah.
But it was depressing, the whole scenario that we were locked down and blah, blah, blah. But it was also inspiring to see people getting crafty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like the bands that were doing like live streams, live streams are kind of whack because you can't really replicate the feeling of being at a show, but it's better than nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You can be sitting there dreaming about it, or you can squint at the screen and watch it.
Yeah.
This is why we're doing what we're doing now.
But I mean, that's another thing. So we're doing this. This video shit for me is new. It was during COVID that I was like, okay, I need to see my friends. Yeah. I can't not see them anymore. And it does allow me to, virtually reconnect with friends across the country, which it wasn't really an opportunity before. So it's such a weird. How are we expected to survive this life? It's like that. This sucks, but it's better than nothing. That's the motto for life these days. It's better than nothing, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
Yeah, we could absolutely have fucking nothing.
Well, yeah, dude. I think you should get the fuck out of Florida. If that's my advice to you, me coming to California, even though everybody talks shit about LA and California. It's the best thing I ever did.
Dude, I was born in California. I was born in Ridgecrest, California.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
Yeah, middle of
I thought you were just Florida boy.
No. So we was born in Ridgecrest. We moved to Seattle, Washington. We lived in Louisville, Kentucky. We lived in Indiana. We lived in Brandon, Florida. And then we moved to Fort Lauderdale in 91. We've been there since.
Oh, so you lived through the Andrew times.
Yes, actually. We ran to Clearwater for Andrew.
Oof.
There was a little orange tree in our backyard before citrus canker fucking killed everything. Dude, do you remember when Florida smelled like night blooming jasmine and orange blossoms?
Yeah, dude.
Everywhere. It was the most beautiful smell in the world. Now it smells like fucking
piss. It smells like piss. Dude, I haven't been to Florida in 5 years, 6 maybe. Because when we moved out here to LA, we went back 6 months later to grab some more stuff that we forgot, and to see the family and stuff. But I haven't been back since, and I just remember going back just 6 months and getting out of the airport and getting hit by that wall of humidity.
Oh yeah,
I wanted to die on the spot, like in the air. But fuck. Oh.
Dude, I was in San Diego, and I flew back to South Florida, and I got out of the airport and left the airport with the windows down. And I was like, does Fort Lauderdale always smelled like shit?
Yes.
Dude, it was.
That's not a mountain. That's a pile of garbage.
Yeah, there's a few of those too. Yeah. Dude, they sit like pimples on the fucking horizon.
It's so funny.
It's
like,
so flat.
You imagine people visiting, they're like with their phones, like, oh my God, I love the mountains here in Florida. I didn't know there were mountains in Florida. It's like,
do you know there's a
garbage.
whole park? Do you know there's a whole park called Sunview Park? It's an old landfill.
Yeah.
There's these huge hills throughout the park. And it's
their
all
kids-
trash.
The kids fucking like, slide down on little fucking plastic sheets.
Yeah, dude.
On the garbage piles.
Getting chased by
Yay,
birds.
Florida.
Getting chased by the birds.
Oh my God, dude. I'm telling you, it's the best decision I've ever made. Not just, not just career wise and everything, but just mentally. That place was so draining to me. Florida was a nightmare to me. Yeah. And I still want to go see friends and family there, but I would never they could offer me a free house and I'd be like, I think I'll just pay rent.
As long as it was like from the 30s, the 20s or 30s, man. See, because I got to South Florida, there wasn't shit going on in Broward. Like there wasn't, it wasn't bustling. You know what I mean? It was still relatively easy to get around. It was kind of quiet for the most part. Otherwise, the beach. You go out east by the beach, it was a little chaotic, but Sunrise, Lauderhill, out west, shit like that was very nice. Well, actually, even parts of Fort Lauderdale were very quiet and easy to move around. Whatever. But I still love like the mid-century like beach bungalows that are down here. Oh my God, I'm so gay. I love it. It's like Jesus. These houses.
Wait, you're gay? I'm just kidding. I didn't know that. What are you talking about? No. Dude, I mean, look, it has its charm. Florida has its charm.
I thought you were talking about being gay has its charm.
Oh, yeah, that too.
I'm just kidding. Go on. Yeah, Florida has its charm.
Florida has its charm, but damn, dude, I don't know. If you really want to succeed with your career, if you're a musician, specifically in the heavy segment of music.
Yeah, you can't be down here.
Gotta get the fuck out of there. And I told all the dudes, falsetto, I told those dudes constantly, like, get the fuck out of here. What are you doing?
Kitava, I love you, baby girl.
Dude, I've told them so many. I've sat them down and had like serious like dad conversations with them. Like,
get the fuck out of here right now.
Out of Florida. What are you doing here? You're way too talented to be stuck in this fucking swamp. Like,
yeah, dude.
It's nuts, dude. And they're still like Silent Mara. Like, what are they doing there? Get the fuck out of Florida.
Yeah.
I know that's your home and family and don't forget where you came from, but like, fuck off with all that shit.
Get the fuck out of here.
Stop it.
Literally.
You're not from anywhere. Let's go. Go to home is where the heart is. Have you never heard that one? Come on.
You are from Stardust, my child.
That's right. That's right. All right, dude. So we're going long. I usually cut this at like 45, so I want to talk to you for another 3 hours, but
yeah, man.
We'll definitely do another one of these soon.
Very cool.
Ether Coven. Let's talk music.
Yes.
Ether Coven, new album is out now. The Relationship Between the Hammer and the Nail. Pick it up. It's on vinyl on your website.
Yes.
If you go to Ether Coven on Instagram, the links are in the bio. And
there's a link tree, yes.
Yeah. You can get all your stuff there. Get the vinyl. Support smaller bands because, they need it. And you guys, even though you are a smaller band, you're definitely on everybody's radar now, by the way.
Very cool.
And not just for me, just like I'm seeing it out there. I see when because I try to keep up with what's going on for the show's sake.
Yeah.
So I know who to interview. Like, I guess I got to talk to this band, but like I see the name popping up. I see like friends of mine that are from California that are like posting it. I'm like, those are my boys. They're like, really? So I'm very happy, and I feel like this weird proud papa feeling with you guys.
Oh, Eddie.
I'm happy for you, and I hope that you guys can tour out to the West Coast soon. Is that a plan? Do you have any tours planned?
There's a possibility of Texas in December. We're trying to work out the details on that.
Tony's out in Texas. Tony Castro.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh my gosh.
I remember he told me once that he was trying out to sing for you guys at one point.
So him and I were emailing stuff back and forth, and I like sent him some things. I like programmed some drums and like wrote some guitars to it, and sent it to him, and it was kind of Nidus Expiry. So I was just like, oh, Nidus Expire was the name of the band he was singing for when Eddie introduced him.
What a waste of talent, that guy.
Dude. Tony, start singing, man.
One of my best friends. What a loser. Get your shit together. God. What are you doing?
Yo. Oh, fucking Tony, man.
Yeah, man. He's I think he's one of my few Patreons. He supports my podcast. So yeah, shout out if you join my Patreon, I'll call you a loser on my show.
Give me money, you fucking loser.
Fucking loser. Seriously though, that guy has one of the best voices I've ever heard, and he doesn't really do much with it. Like he'll send me occasionally like, hey, check this out. Like it's him and his phone and an acoustic guitar and like some of the most beautiful singing. I'm like, what are you doing?
Stop it. Fucking cut it out. Stop fucking around.
Yeah. I lost track. All right, so where were we? Ether Coven. You've got an EP also that came out before last year.
Yes.
You guys have been consistently dropping music. You had the other one, Everything is Temporary Except Suffering, in 2020.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of music if you haven't heard them yet. But like I told you, I feel like the name is around, and it's only going to get better from here. As long as you, like you said, you steadfastness, keep going.
Yeah.
Keep grinding, do some tours. I mean, obviously as physically, if it's physically possible for everyone.
Yeah.
Keep touring, keep writing. But I'm excited for you, dude. And I'm happy that we did this. Eddie.
I love you so much, man.
Love you too, dude. South of Devin, if you want to follow you specifically, not just the band, right?
Yeah, South of Devin.
South of Devin. Also, Outed, before we go. You're in Outed, and
yes.
What's going on with that?
We actually started writing again. Caleb, I was talking to Martin, who sings, and I was like, man, I want to hit up Caleb to see if he wants to do anything with it again. And within 30 minutes of me messaging Martin, Caleb messages me, I love you, I miss you, I miss writing music with you. I'm like, okay, well, let's write, let's do it. And I didn't realize Martin didn't tell him that. He just so happened to text me 30 minutes after I told Martin I wanted to do it. I was just like, oh my God. So it was like right away. So
nice.
Two songs started, and they're longer this time, but it's just as gay, just as pissed off. It's more like death grindy too, which I'm really into.
Nice.
Yeah,
okay.
I mean it's still very metalcore-ish, but I like bringing the classic sound, classic death metal sound. But,
okay. And Jeremy's still.
Yeah, Jeremy's playing bass.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Jeremy,
it's such a weird, I met Wes and Jeremy out here. Well, yeah, out here in California. I didn't meet them in Florida. So, when seeing that crossover, I was like, wait, how do you know Devin? So wait, you're in a band? Like, what's going on?
So, Caleb, the drummer Outed, met Jeremy on one of the gay dating apps called Scruff. And Jeremy was wearing a Cult Leader shirt in his profile pic. So Caleb was like, yo, Cult Leader's rad, and started hitting it off. He's like, yo, I have a metal band. You want to play bass? He said, yeah.
Nice. That's a power move, by the way. A fucking Cult Leader shirt on your dating app.
Yo, that's Jeremy. I could totally see that.
Yeah.
It's funny when I see my little face on like Grindr and Scruff, because everybody else is like doing the something, and it's like a torso.
I'm in the gym,
and it's just like me, like with a scythe, sitting around flowers from a photo shoot.
You should get corpse paint too.
No, I'm just like, right, so shitty.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, it's specific. It's be who you are. I've always said this. Dating apps, I miss them. By the way, I wasn't around for like by the time I got hitched, the apps were just coming out, so I never really used them. But I always said that there should be in dating some kind of like easier way of telling if you're wasting your time.
Oh, it's called honesty.
Yeah. So it's like, but
the
if
gays
you
know it so well, it just says either nothing or it says no thank you.
I say,
Sorry.
like the picture of you with a scythe is very telling. Like,
Right.
oh, I know.
Oh, I
know
see what you're talking about. So
you know what I
like,
mean? Like, I get who that guy is. You know, like you don't. There's
Yeah.
no assumptions. Like if you're in the gym, like like okay, well, who are you?
Yeah.
What are you listening to? Like, but you with a scythe, it's like okay,
yeah,
I know what's up.
you know what you're getting. You know what you're getting. You're getting some weird dude.
Yeah, because I mean, I like that because when you know how much time I wasted with fucking lunatics like that. Only like 6 weeks in, I'm like, oh shit, I fucked up.
See,
Oh, no.
the fun part for me is that I'm the crazy one, so I don't have I don't have that problem.
You don't have to worry about it. Yeah.
I'm the lunatic. I show up and I'm like, hey, it's me. It's me.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. Dude.
Oh man. All right. Well, let's go. Let's do this again. Let's do this again soon, though. Please.
Yeah, man, for sure.
I miss you. I love you. And everybody, please follow Devin, south of Devin. Go listen to Ether Coven. Get the album. It is awesome. It is heavy. It is aggressive. And it's topical. There's a lot of like, I know there's like some, societal things in there. So
Yes.
it's good. Let's talk soon. Okay.
Absolutely, brother. I love and miss you too. Be safe.
See ya. Cheers.